at 3 a.m. I was waking up with a sharp pain in my chest, and people who were at home had to ring the ambulance, and they came to pick me up, and I spent a day and a half in hospital, and they told me that my blood pressure went through the roof. And apart from that, I had massive headaches every day or every other day. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and a lot of dental problems because I developed a lot of bad eating habits. Just out of the blue, one day I was just watching a program on YouTube, and there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by stopping eating animal products, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And because my health was pretty bad, I said, okay, I'm going to try that. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 77 pounds. And all my chronic diseases completely went away. I don't suffer from high blood pressure anymore, no headaches, no back pain, everything is completely gone.
Hey everyone, it's Sophia from SacredU. Thank you so much for being here. A quick message before we dive into today's conversation. You may have been watching the podcast videos, but have not had a chance to hit that subscribe button. So if you have ever gained value from our videos, from our conversations, it would mean so much to us if you would hit that subscribe button below right now, or even just give us a like. And what that means is not only does it allow us to grow our subscriber base, but it allows us to bring in more important guests for you to listen to. And you will be one of the first ones to be notified. So please hit that subscribe button and let's get started on today's conversation.
Welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing by SacredU. SacredU is a global community aiming to empower people all over the world. And today I have the pleasure of introducing Olivier Mankondo. How are you, Olivier?
I'm fine. I'm very well, thank you. And I'm really grateful to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, today we're going to be talking about something that it's a topic I love. And it's all around health and wellness. And your specialty is in a plant-based diet. Now, if people are like me, they'll be fascinated by this plant-based diet because we hear so much about it. However, it can be one of those areas where there can be a bit of confusion and there can be a little bit of how do we get started and is it really going to be beneficial to me? These are the things that I'd really love to talk to you about, Olivier, because you've had incredible results from being on a plant-based diet. You've lost a lot of weight and you've also been able to reverse the aging process, which everyone, I'm sure, is going to want to know more about how to do that. But more importantly, your health and your wellness is just off the charts. So let's start by, how did you get into the plant-based diet?
Yeah. So to answer this question, I'll go a little bit back in time. Basically, I'm originally from Africa, from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And when I was growing up, there was no computer games, there were no video games and all that. So we were forced to play outside, running around, climbing trees, playing football and stuff like that. So we were very energetic, which is completely different from the kids of today who are stuck to the screen and stuff like that. And I was not exposed to too much animal product, dairy product, and processed food. So when I was growing up, I was very lean. But my problem only started when I left my country. I went to South Africa, where I spent a year over there, and then I came to the UK. And that's when my problem started, because here I was exposed to a lot of animal product, a lot of dairy product and processed food. So every meal that I was having, I would have some kind of animal product or dairy product or processed food. And that's why I started to put on weight. And at my heaviest was 220 pounds. And because of that, I was starting to suffer from a lot of chronic diseases. I was starting to suffer from high blood pressure. And people should know that high blood pressure is a very dangerous disease. And 50% of people who suffer from high blood pressure will have cardiovascular diseases. they will suffer from problem with their kidneys and stuff like that. And I was suffering from that. And I even remember there was a day where at 3 a.m. I was waking up with a sharp pain in my chest. And people who were at home had to ring the ambulance. And they came to pick me up, and I spent a day and a half in hospital. And they told me that my blood pressure went through the roof. And apart from
Wow.
that, I had massive headaches every day or every other day. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and a lot of dental problems because I developed a lot of bad eating habits. So for example, at midnight, I will still have my bottle of Coca-Cola with some biscuits, some cakes, and stuff like that. And that's why I basically every 2 to 3 months to see the dentist. And on top of that, I was always tired, always. So for example, on the day that I had to go to work, I will drag myself out of bed. And on the day where I was off work, I will sleep until 1 p.m. So I was always tired, didn't know what to do. So I went to see my doctor, and the doctor told me that I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. And I didn't like that idea, even though I didn't know what I know now, but instinctively I said, no, I don't want that. And then the doctor told me, okay, what are you going to do? I said, okay, I'm going to do some martial arts. And basically I went and joined a karate club for 4 years, thinking that my blood pressure will come down, but there was no changes. So I was really desperate. I didn't know what to do. And just out of the blue, one day I was just watching a program on YouTube, and there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by stopping eating animal product, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And because my health was pretty bad, I said, okay, I'm going to try that. So it was a Wednesday that I watched the program. On Thursday, I came back from work. I had my last meal of meat. And on Friday, I went cold turkey.
How was that process for you? Because I know a lot of people want to do that, and some have success and some don't. How was that for you, going cold turkey?
Yeah, so what happened is that the following week, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. I had massive detox symptoms. And for example, I had massive headaches for 3 days that I've never had in my entire life. I had more cold sore, my joints starting to ache even more. And here at home, they even asked me to stop because it was really bad. But I said, no, I'm going to continue. And after a week, all these detox symptoms completely disappeared. I was starting to feel a lot of energy, a lot of mental clarity. And after 4 months, I went back to the doctor, who told me that my blood pressure, I will be on medication for the rest of my life, and my blood pressure was completely gone. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 77 pounds, and all my chronic diseases completely went away. I don't suffer from high blood pressure anymore, no headaches, no back pain, everything is completely gone. And in fact, like I said, I was able to lose 77 pounds, as you can see the way I used to be.
Wow, that doesn't even look like you.
Yeah. Yeah. And after that, basically, I was able to reverse all my chronic diseases. And for the past 9 years, I've not been sick a single day, not even a headache.
Amazing.
And for the past 10 years, I've not taken a single pill, not even a paracetamol or an aspirin. And on top of that, like I've said, I've been able to slow down my aging process or reverse my aging process, because a lot of people, when they see me, they think that I'm in my late 20s. But on Saturday, I'll be 55.
Way. I would not have thought you were 55. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Oh gosh, that's really inspiring. Because a lot of what would have been going on with you would have been, you would have had a lot of chronic inflammation happening, and sugar, we all know sugar is addictive. So it's no wonder you felt you would have had major withdrawals in that first week. So what advice can you give to people who are looking to do what you have done and turn everything around? What would you say to them?
Yes. What I will ask them to do is, first of all, don't go cold turkey. That's not the right way. Don't do that. Because for most people, it's going to put them off. because with all the
Excellent.
detox symptoms and all that, it's really not pleasant. It's just because I was really determined that I was able to go through that. But for most people, it's not going to work. So first of all, don't go cold turkey. What they will have to do is to try to go to do that slowly, to do the change very slowly. For example, if they are used to eat animal product and dairy product and processed food every day, what they will have to do is to decrease that to maybe 5 days a week. So for 5 days, they continue to eat all the stuff that they eat. And for 2 days, they go on a plant-based nutrition where they stop eating animal product, dairy product, and most processed food. They do that, for example, for 2 to 3 weeks. And then after that, they decrease that to 4 days. So they introduce the changes very slowly. And for most people, because they don't eat a lot of fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seed, and this food have got lots of fiber. And if you introduce that all of a sudden, it's going to maybe mess up your GI tract and stuff like that. Your intestine, you'll have maybe diarrhea and all that. So they need to introduce all the fruit, the vegetables very slowly. So that's what I will have to ask them to do. And I will ask them as well to change their mindset, because the mindset is very important. If you don't have the right mindset, it's not going to work. And usually what people, when you tell them that you will have to stop all these animal product, the dairy product and all that, the first thing that they will tell you, they will say it's going to be difficult. I'm not going to be able to do it. And as soon as you say that, because your subconscious mind is very powerful, it's going to make sure that you fail, because that's actually what you want. And people need to change their mindset. They need to adopt a winning mindset. When they say to themselves that they're going to succeed, it's going to be possible. So that's what I will ask people to do as a start.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I love that mindset, absolutely. It's everything. What's that quote? If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So your mindset has to be a factor in it. And I love that you talk about introducing it slowly, because you're absolutely right. The majority of people will give up when it becomes too hard, because that's then also reinforcing their false belief that it's hard. They're getting that evidence. So I love that you're doing it slowly, because then that is sustainable as well, isn't it? When you take these slow changes. So when it comes to, like, when I think about plant-based eating, I don't even know where to start. What does that look like? Is it going to taste really bland? Do I have to eat tofu? And what does a plant-based diet actually look like?
So what exactly when people think about plant-based nutrition, the first thought that comes in their mind is just salad. That's what people think. But no, when you eat a plant-based nutrition, it's lots of colorful food. You've got all the fruit, you've got all the vegetables, you've got the legumes, you've got grains, seeds, all these. You can prepare that in a very good way. For example, you can have brown rice with beans, with mushrooms. You can have lentils, you can have chickpeas, you can have potatoes, you can have plantain bananas, you can have yam. There's lots of stuff that you can have. And for example, in the morning, instead of having all these white bread with stuff like salami, bacon, hot dog sausages, maybe you can just have fruit, or maybe you can have a toast with peanut butter. Maybe you can have porridge with strawberries, with berries, or maybe you can have oatmeal with bananas, with peanut butter. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do. And you can add all the spices. So it's not going to be bland. You can really make that very tasteful. And for people who don't have any idea of what to do, like me, for example, when I started, I didn't know what to do. And the idea that came to me maybe a couple of days after adopting this plant-based nutrition was to buy a vegan recipe book. And with that, you can have lots and lots of recipes, and you will be able to make that happen. So people don't have to be scared and think that it's bland. It's going to be with no taste and stuff like that. No, with all the stuff that you can have, you can make that very tasteful.
And I guess it's just like when we first learnt to cook anything, we didn't know how to make things taste good. And a lot of the stuff that we cooked probably didn't taste good in the beginning, but we learned what to add and how to make it tastier. So yeah, that's great advice. It's just another It's just a different way of thinking, isn't it? So instead of thinking, what am I missing out on? Because then we get that whole, oh, I want this. We turn into little 2-year-olds, don't we? I want to have my bacon
Yeah,
and eggs sort of thing. It's not what you're missing out on, it's what you're adding or what you're enhancing or what you're changing and just having something different. It's like when I say to the kids, you try it. How do you know you don't like it if you don't try it? So I think
yeah,
we need
exactly.
to adopt that kind of attitude as well. And so the other thing then is, will I be hungry on a plant-based diet?
Yeah, exactly. That's what people think because you eat. People think that to be full, they need to eat a lot of animal product, a lot of processed food. But what people need to understand is that when you look at fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seed, they've got lots of fiber. First of all, the fiber will clean up your GI tract. And people need to understand that 70% of the chronic diseases start in the intestine. So by eating all these fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, and seeds, all this fiber will clean up your GI tract, and this will be already very good for you. And all this fiber as well, they will make you full very quickly, and you will tend to eat less frequently. And people don't have to be afraid that, oh, if I eat a plant-based nutrition, I'll be hungry all the time. No, this is in their mind. But if they give it a chance, they eat until they feel satisfied, then there's no reason for them to feel hungry after. It's like me, for example, I only eat twice a day. I only eat at 12 noon and at 6 p.m. And in between, I don't have any snacks and I don't feel hungry. Really, people need to understand that this is a good way to go. And because as well, when you eat all these fruit, vegetables, legumes, granules, and seed, they've got lots of nutrients. They've got lots of phytonutrients. They've got lots of vitamins. And all this, the body will be able to extract a lot of nutrient from all this food. And this will prevent you from feeling hungry all the time. So that's really a misconception that if you go on a plant-based nutrition, you're going to be hungry all the time. This is wrong.
Okay. Is there a transition as you're moving into it? Like you're saying that you're only eating like at 12 and 6. Is there a transition where eventually your body just says, you don't need the food, you're not hungry, and you get to that point?
Yes, because I didn't start just by eating twice a day. No, you start because in the society, people eat all the time. Some people will have 5, 6, 7 meals in a day. So what people need to start doing first is to start decreasing that. They don't have to just say, okay, from today, I'm going to eat 2 meals a day. No, don't do that. You're going to mess up your system. So people always have to go gradually. So, for example, they will start maybe at 4 or 3 meals a day. And what they will have to do, the key will have to avoid snacking in between. But, for example, maybe when they wake up, they can have their breakfast, and then maybe at 1, they can have another meal, and then maybe at 6 again. So they try to do that slowly. And for example, if they can't, they really need to eat meat or dairy product and stuff like that, they can find some vegan alternative. For example, they can have tofu, they can have tempeh and stuff like that, or they can have all this fake meat. They can use that as a transition food because at the end of the day, they are still processed food, and processed food are not really designed for the human mechanism, but they can use that as transition food. Or for example, instead of having all the cow's milk, they can have rice milk, or they can have oat milk or soya milk or things like that. Or for example, if they want to have ice cream, they can have the vegan ice cream, which has been made which is plant-based. So they can start introducing all these changes very slowly until they can wean themselves of all or most of the processed food. So that's what people can do.
Sounds good. Sounds very good. So tell me about, you have created the 3-step weight loss and wellness program. What does that entail?
Yes, the three weight loss and wellness program. First of all, it's the mindset. Like I was saying, the mindset is very important. So you can eat the best food that you want, but if you haven't got the right mindset, it's not going to work. So that's the first thing that I go with people who would like to work with me, is to work on their mindset. They need to adopt a winning mindset where they completely dismiss the fact that they're going to fail. They need to dismiss all the doubts. They need to remove that from their mindset, and they need to believe that this is possible. And they need to as well put in their mind that this is not a diet. It's not something that you do for a few days or a few weeks. No, this is a lifestyle that you will have to embrace. And as well, they need to surround themselves with a supportive community. Because what I've noticed is that when people do that on their own, it becomes very challenging. And especially, for example, if they've got a wife or a partner or her husband and the other doesn't support them, it becomes very difficult for them to succeed. So that's the first thing that people address is the mindset. The second thing is to adopt a plant-based nutrition where they eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seed. And like I was saying, this food have got lots of fiber, and this fiber will tend to make you full very quickly, and you will tend to eat less frequently. And because of that, people will start losing weight effortlessly. And the third step is to introduce intermittent fasting, because in the society we've been told that we need to eat constantly. But what people need to understand is that when you're constantly digesting food, what will happen is that your body will start producing insulin in excess. So you will have lots of peaks of insulin. And when your body keeps producing insulin, what will happen? It's going to produce what is called cellular aging, and you will tend to age very quickly. And when your cells tend to age very quickly, obviously you will die quicker. And what will happen as well is that when you are constantly digesting food, the body cannot produce what is called the human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone is very important for the growth of your cells, your tissues. And the body cannot produce the human growth hormone and the insulin at the same time. So when the body produces insulin, it will not produce the human growth hormone, and this is not good. And as well, when you are digesting food, the body cannot do the healing and cleansing. The healing and cleansing can only be done when you're not digesting food. So people can understand that when they keep eating, they keep digesting food, the body cannot heal and cleanse. And what is important as well is that when you're doing intermittent fasting, the body will go through a process which is called autophagy, when the body eats its own waste, which is very important. So people need to understand that when they keep digesting food, it's not good. Because in the system, we've been told that, oh, when you keep eating, you will have strength. This is a complete lie. And there was even a study which was made with rats. There was two groups of rats. One group, they overfed them, and there was another group they gave them less food. And what the scientists were able to see is that at the end of the experiment, the rat who were less fed were able to live up to 50% more than the overfed rat. So what people need to understand is that the less frequently you eat, the longer you're going to live. So basically, that's the three-step process in my program.
That's fantastic. And if people want to get in touch with you and do this process, how do they do that?
Yeah, if they want to do that, what they will have to do is they will have to set up a discovery call with me. So on the discovery call, we go through all the situation, the eating habits, why they got stuck in the first place, the health issues. We go through all this. And during the process, I will introduce them to the three-step process that I've just described to you. I will show them that it's possible to reverse all these situations. And if there's a good fit, then there will be an opportunity for us to work together so that we can address all these situations once and for all.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. And I'm sure the links to be able to get in contact with you will be below this video. So before we wrap it up, that was so interesting to talk to you about all of this. You've got so much knowledge on this and experience in it. Is there anything else you'd like to leave the audience with before we end today's interview?
Yes. So what I would like to say to people is that when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have is our body. It's our temple, and we've only got one. So people need to make sure that they are doing everything they can so that they can be in good health. And people need to understand as well that they are the master and they've got the power to change whatever they want. People think that when they grow older, they need to be sick. That's what we've been told. We need to be sick when we grow older. But people need to understand that's not true. Being sick is a choice. When you grow older, you don't have to be sick. When I started this process, I was 46. Like I've told you, in 2 days, I'll be 55, and my health is getting better and better. So people don't have to think that if they grow older, they need to be sick. No. And they don't have to think that they are too late. Even if you are in your 60s, your 70s, it's not too late. So that's what I would like to leave your viewers or listeners with.
That's fantastic. Everything you're saying is just resonating so much with what I believe as well. And age is just a number. You don't have to settle. I think people settle and they lose hope a little bit, but you don't have to do that either. You make your life what you make your life. And I think the more that we can prioritizing feeling good in every aspect, it's going to benefit us. It's going to benefit the people that we interact with as well. So I think what you're doing is incredible. So thank you so much. Really enjoyed our conversation today.
Yeah, thank you very much as well for giving me the opportunity to be on your show, because this gives me really the time to showcase my story, to show people that it's possible to live a disease-free life and we don't have to be sick. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to help my brothers and sisters.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Wasn't Oliver's story a testament to the power of taking ownership of our own health and making intentional choices for a better life? If you are feeling inspired by Oliver's transformation and want to explore how you too can create lasting change in your health and well-being, we encourage you to take the first step today. Click on the link below to connect with Oliver, schedule your discovery call, and begin your own journey to vibrant health and a freedom from chronic illness. At SacredU, we believe that well-being is not just a destination, but a lifelong journey of connection, growth, and empowerment. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Pathway to Wellbeing podcast to hear more transformational stories and actionable advice from incredible guests like Oliver. For more empowering conversations, tools, and strategies, follow SacredU on social media or visit our website at www.sacredu, that's the letter U.love. Take this moment to prioritize your well-being because you deserve it. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take towards your pathway to well-being brings you closer to the life you truly want. Have a beautiful day.